Good morning, guys, and welcome back to my channel. For anyone new here, welcome. My name is Sydney, and this is going to be my 13-week or week 13 update. So I am already in my 14th week of pregnancy, but I'm trying to do weekly updates now that I'm in my second trimester and on. So this will just be from my last video was up until 12 weeks, and yeah, we'll just jump right in. So for week 13, I basically woke up every day with like a pounding headache, and I had to immediately just gulp down a huge glass of water to help it subside. Now, I don't know if that is because overnight I was getting dehydrated from sleeping at night and then, not drinking anything or not drinking enough during the day, before I go to bed or something. I don't know, but bad headache, drink a big glass of water. It helped. It didn't make it completely go away, but it made a huge difference. I have been feeling like I've been getting some of my energy back during week 13, but still get tired easy. So I feel more apt to getting up and doing things, but then by the time I do them, I still am I could use a nap. Haven't been napping as much though, which is nice. When I do nap though, it's still 2 to 3 hours that I sleep, and then it makes it even harder to sleep at night, which is one of the things that week 13, some during week 11 and 12 too, but into week 13, definitely the difficulty sleeping, finding a comfortable spot to lay, getting my legs comfortable where it doesn't hurt my hips, or feeling like I'm laying too much on my stomach or too much on my back. Just definitely been difficult. And I know that I'm early, so I just can't wait for later on when I'm way bigger and it is even harder, because I know it just gets harder. But I don't have a pregnancy pillow or anything. I do have a full-length body pillow, but it usually is the buffer between me and the wall. So sometimes I just wrap the bottom between my legs to help pull them apart or make my hips not hurt so bad. But I don't know. It's difficult. It's been difficult. I usually don't fall asleep right away, and then once I am sleeping or dozing, then I kind of keep waking up and stuff for several hours. So then in the mornings it's hard to drag myself out of bed. Yeah, but the other part of week 13 was I did have some doctor's appointments. So the doctor's appointments that I had was I did the nuchal translucency, which is considered a non-invasive prenatal testing, or NIPT, as some people call it, the NIPT. Now there are different forms of this, but we did the nuchal translucency test, which means we go in, we get an ultrasound. The ultrasound tech takes pictures of all the measurements. They look at the skull formation, and they look at the area kind of between the skull and the base of the spine in the back, the neck translucency. And they gather all this information, and then they do blood work, which was and you can't see it now, but they did a prick from my middle finger, and it's a little paper card that has 5 circles, and they just put a drop of blood in each of the circles. They seal it up, and they send it off, at least my doctor's office sends it off to a lab who does the processing on this. Now, we are supposed to be getting our results back sometime this week in week 14, based on what my OB said, is that she expects it to be back this week, but they said sometimes it does take a couple weeks. So obviously whatever week I hear back from them, I'll include that in my update to you guys, whether it's this week or, whatever. But, so we did that, and that was on Tuesday of week 13. So, my weeks reset every Saturday, which is really convenient because it's basically the start of a new week, is literally the start of a new week. Technically Saturday's the first day, but you know what I mean. Very, very easy. So in Tuesday of week 13, we did that. The ultrasound was a pretty long ultrasound, and we actually got to see some really cool things. Our little jelly bean was very, very active, like literally had its legs bent and was kicking against, like, I don't want to say my stomach because I don't think that's accurate, but you know, the bubble in which it is in, it was kicking against that lining. I couldn't feel anything, obviously, first time mom at week 13, and I say that and some people are going to be like, I felt it, but I did not. I could not feel anything, but I was laughing because watching the baby do this was just crazy to me to just see so active. The baby also was like sucking its thumb, or, you know, sucking its thumb. But I mean, even the ultrasound tech said like, oh, it looks like the baby is sucking its thumb, which is possible at this point. So it was just moving around, wiggling. They did take some like 3D type photos, but at this early, kind of looks like a weird mushy alien, so I just like the regular ultrasound pictures. They did send us home with a bunch, and she actually sent us home with the video of the baby jumping, like kicking against my stomach, or the lining, whatever, which was really cool. Definitely a neat experience. We were not expecting at 13 weeks to be able to see so much detail in the face. Like literally the baby has my nose. Like it's so, I mean, obviously I can't say it's my nose, but it's just like this cute little button nose, and I'm sorry, but I don't have a very big nose, and it was very sweet and just so crazy to see that much detail this early. We just didn't think that there was going to be that much of a difference. Like last time we saw the baby, it literally looked like a little curled up seahorse. And this time it was literally a baby. It had like no more paddle arms and legs. It was like legitimate legs folded with feet pushing, and hands and thumbs and a nose, and it was crazy. It was like an emotional roller coaster of just like, wow, I can't believe it. I felt like Juno in that movie Juno, where like to her it became real when she found out the baby had fingernails, and it's just like, fingernails, really? Like I just couldn't get over, like, we can literally see the face, we can see the nose, we can see where the mouth is gonna be. Like I was just stunned at how much I could see. So I do have a follow-up appointment with the OB at 17 weeks, which would be just 4 weeks after that appointment. I do go roughly every 4 weeks for a regular just OB checkup. Then Wednesday of that week, so the following day, I then had an appointment with what you call an EP, or an electrophysiologist. So for me, that's different than most people because I have a heart condition and I have had a pacemaker since I was 7. So the EP was looking into what effects the pacemaker could have on my pregnancy, whether they thought I was going to need a new one at the end, you know, things like that. I was definitely cleared by her with the pacemaker. Everything looked good. She said we didn't need to see her anymore, that based on what she looked at, everything looked good, because during my week 12 update, I showed you guys I had that Holter monitor on and I had done the echo, excuse me, and the echo results came back really good. Obviously, for someone with a heart condition, the only things that came back weird were the things that you would expect with my heart condition. So everything else looked good. My heart was looking good. The output was good. Oxygenation was really good. And then the Holter monitor, the only things that they had questions about were things that were either easily explainable or things that they really weren't concerned with. They just found it worth mentioning to me just so I would know. So everything looks good on that end, which is really nice. They do want me to have a consult with the maternal fetal medicine specialist. So I'm referred somewhere else for that. And then I have some other appointments and referrals coming up, but I'll talk about those more when they get closer, because nothing is really close now for a few weeks. So as far as the doctors and the 13-week update, like that's really everything. So the only thing I'm going to talk about now is kind of the upcoming information for everything that's coming up during the pregnancy. So if you were just here for the pregnancy update, then there you go. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I hope to see you in the next video. Otherwise, I'm just going to jump into the rest of it. So as I mentioned in previous videos, I am going to be doing a bunch of traveling during my pregnancy. Next month in August, near the end of the month, my husband leaves for Coast Guard basic training because, as some of you may know, probably a lot of you do not, he did 4 years in the Navy, got out. We kind of did some different career searching for him, and then he just kind of wound up settling back on wanting to still do a military career. So we went back and looked into everything, and Coast Guard is what he decided on. So he leaves for basic next month, and so he will be gone. Basic training is 8 weeks, and so he'll be gone for 2 months. During that time, I am going to be traveling from Minnesota, where we're staying with his parents, to go see my mom and sister and grandmother in Florida. Then I'm going to fly from Florida to New Jersey for his graduation from basic, and then I'll fly back to Florida. He will go to California and get settled where his classes, his A school is going to be for his job, so the training for his job. And he'll have to spend some time on base, and then once they clear him to live out in the economy, or hopefully we will get approved for base housing, which would be so nice. Then I'm going to be driving from Florida to California so that I can take everything up there. Now my trip for Florida is coming up. I will be leaving literally just a few days after he leaves. My mom is gonna fly up here to Minnesota from Florida and drive with me down, so that I'm not driving alone. So it'll be me, my mom, and my dog, which honestly, this isn't crazy because my mom drove with me from Florida to Washington when I moved all my stuff up there. So this is just kind of the way that it goes for us with military life. And so I'll be staying with my mom. I'm obviously going to be doing videos and stuff during that whole trip so you guys can see, and obviously, like I said, I'm still trying to do my weekly updates, so a lot will be leading up to that. But this video is getting really long. Basically, all I wanted to say was that those things are still set in stone. They are still happening, and I've been trying to get everything ready for the move, because basically I'm taking everything that we're considering a necessity, but just the necessities, to Florida so that I can go straight from Florida to California. We are going to live on bare minimum essentials in California, which is going to be kind of crazy because shortly after I get to California, we'll be having a baby. So it's a lot. It's going to be very interesting. I'm not going to be able to do I guess during the last 2 months I could nest in California, but it's just kind of a lot going on, it seems like, for a first-time mom. But that's just life. So it'll definitely be a wild ride, I think. But part of the bare essentials is I am only going to be driving in my small sedan, which doesn't have a way to hook a U-Haul or anything like that to it. So it's literally just going to be me and my mom and my dog, everything we need for the dog, her clothes for the trip, my clothes for the trip, and then basically in the trunk of my small sedan is just going to be everything that I can fit that we can take with us to California. I know we're going to Florida first, but it's basically, I'm not really going to need a lot in Florida because I'm going to be staying with my mom and sister. So other than clothes and stuff for me and the baby, in utero, obviously I'm not going to have the baby, but other than that, food and basic essentials, obviously they're going to have, but I'm going to be taking all of that stuff to California, so I can't fit our actual bed because it's a huge queen size, big bed with, it's an actual bed. It has a stand and all that stuff. So we're not taking that. So we're going to sleep on an air mattress. But don't worry, I got the combo pack. It's a queen air mattress and a what is it called? An inflatable couch that folds out to also be a queen mattress, you know, in case we have guests. It's super funny because when I ordered it and I showed my husband, he was like, that's the kind of thing that you see in someone's like bachelor pad as like a bad joke. And I was like, well, but it makes sense because we're not taking any furniture. We're not taking anything. We have two really crappy like fold up camping chairs that the arms are broken on both of them for us. And he doesn't want me to get new ones. So I was like, well, I'm gonna need somewhere to sit other than just the bed with a baby. And if I have to get up during the night to feed the baby and he's sleeping because he's got work and school, like I can't just... So I thought, oh, well, the couch, I could go and lay out there or sit on the couch with the baby. It's probably not that funny, and some of you are probably like, oh dear God, you're gonna regret this. It just seems really funny to me right now because just the thought of I'm gonna get out of my air mattress to go and breastfeed my 1-month-old sitting on my blow-up couch. It's just like this really funny thought to me, like... But we also got the pack and play for the baby. My husband's grandmother, so my grandma-in-law, but, you know, who cares, my grandma, she actually bought it for us. I found one that I really, really loved at Walmart. It was just under $100. I've been having my eye on it and waiting for it to come in stock so that I could just get it from the store versus shipping it, because that was one of the things that I told my husband that for sure I wanted to know that it would fit in my car because I wanted to have the exact one I wanted, no ifs, ands, or buts, and I didn't want to have to wait or pay more in California or pay for shipping for it to come to California from somewhere else. It was just one of those things that I was like, yeah, it might seem dramatic and demanding, but I'm sorry, but I'm putting my foot down and I just want this. So... that's in the trunk. I have to get the air mattress and the couch in the trunk. I have a bin where I have 2 plates, 2 bowls, 2 cups, and I have to go dig out from the basement from our box of stuff from our apartment 2 forks, 2 spoons, 2 butter knives, and 2 regular knives because my husband doesn't want to take the whole tray because it's only 2 of us. We don't need anything else. And I bought plastic plates, bowls, and cups because we have a glass set, and I was like, I'm not taking 2 of our already cheapo 4 glass plates or glass set of dishes so that they can get broken on this double road trip, like, so that then we have to end up just buying a brand new set anyways. That doesn't make sense. So I just went to Target and got those like 80-cent plates and bowls and cups just to have, because you know what, if you want to do bare minimum essentials, then fine, we're gonna go cheap. And yeah, I'm getting really out of breath because I'm talking so much. I'm sorry guys, that's just a pregnancy thing. I just really get out of breath. Plus it's just hysterical to me, the ridiculousness of this whole thing. Like, it just sounds so silly. Just this whole thing sounds so silly, but yeah. So I have to dig out that stuff. I want to do that today. Like, after I do this video, I want to go dig out the stuff and put it in there, because I just have like a plastic bin that I have like all that kind of stuff in, like the dishes and stuff, just so it's sort of like separate, not just like moving around in the trunk, because everything else is just sort of like getting pushed in there. Then for clothing, don't worry, I'm just gonna take garbage bags. The cheap ones from the dollar store, and we're gonna shove mine and the baby's clothes in one, or maybe even separate ones, depends. But I'm gonna put baby clothes, because I have a whole bin of baby clothes and stuff that I've gotten already. Small stuff. I'm trying not to get crazy, but I have 2 like free baby sample bags from Target. I have some other small stuff that like people have given me And then I have the clothes that I've been like thrifting and buying. So, and I can't fit the plastic bin in my vehicle. So, and the bin is full anyways. I have clothes sitting outside of the bin now because the bin is already full. And I thought, oh, if I can just fit everything I need in this bin, I can put this bin in the car and it'll be fine. Well, I bought more stuff. So now not everything fits in the bin. So we're just gonna put it in garbage bags so that I can shape it how I want and just shove it into the open spaces of the trunk after everything else is in there. And then, yeah. So bare minimum clothes for my husband, basically whatever fits me or that I think that I'll be able to wear at the beginning of that postpartum time for me, and then everything that we have for the baby and just gonna be shoved in there. Like, this is gonna be a whole mess. I'm definitely gonna start taking some like vlog clips and showing you guys the mess that is my vehicle and trying to do this. I've already started, so we missed out on the beginning part, but trust me, you do not want to see me clean out my trunk. I didn't even want to see me clean out my trunk. There was stuff in there that was so old. I'm pretty sure it was from my move from Florida to Washington, which was like 2 years ago plus. Very concerned. Your girl is real lazy when it comes to the trunk. So yeah, this video is already outrageously long, so I'm gonna end it here. Sorry guys, if you are still working, if you are still watching this, know that I have a crazy pregnancy brain and you deserve a cookie. And I am out of breath. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. I will see you in my next update. I'm hoping to try to make this like a regular like Wednesday thing to do like my weekly updates. Obviously it would be cooler if I can move it closer to the time, but usually weekends are a bad time for me, so yeah. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. I will see you in my next update video. And if you guys have anything to add that you think is like an essential for like moving with a baby, obviously I didn't mention everything that I thought. And when we get there, we're gonna be buying most of the baby stuff. But anything that you think is like an essential that we should have for like living for the last like 2 months of my pregnancy, and or slash like things that you're like, hey, I don't know if you thought about this, but it's probably important and you might want to consider it a bare minimum essential, just throw it in the comments below because I would love to read that. I would love to be able to convince my husband that this is crazy. I mean, obviously we don't really have any other choices, but I'm just saying, I think it's crazy. But anyways, I will see you guys in my next video update, and I will start taking clips of all the things that I am doing to get my vehicle ready for this trip, obviously leading up to going on this trip, which isn't for like a month, but you know, whatever. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a fun time. We're gonna start doing vlogs on this channel. It's gonna be crazy. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video.